Hello there. Assalamu alaikum. This is Amna. I'm from My English Matters. I'm one of the creators of My English Matters together with my sisters, Madam Azima and Aisha. And what we do here at My English Matters is we teach working adults, Malaysians, and second language learners how to communicate better through our online courses, through our workshops, and our monthly membership. And this year has all been online because of the pandemic. So everything has been online this year, and we have more than 400 students with My English Matters already. So if you're watching me, say hi to me, leave me a comment. It does get lonely on this side of the screen, and I like to see comments. I like to interact with you. I like doing these Facebook Lives because I can interact with you. So leave me a comment, say hi, tell me where you're watching from, and also you can share this video with all your friends and family. Hi, My English Matters, I can see you. Okay, so today, what we're going to do is, okay, not today. What I mean is, over the next 4 weeks, what we're going to do is we're going to do these Facebook Lives every Tuesday at 10 a.m. for on the Facebook page. So we're going to do Facebook Lives on our Facebook page every Tuesday. And 10 a.m. Malaysia time, because I know we have viewers from different countries. We have people from Philippines, Bolivia, Dubai. Where else have I seen you guys from? Mexico. So I know that we have viewers from all over the world, but mostly, so that's why our time is 10 a.m. Malaysia time. So I can see you. Hello, Shida. How are you? Hi, Zaki. Tell me where you're watching from. I'm assuming that you're watching from, are you watching from work? Are you watching from home? So again, every Tuesday, we're going to go live at 10 a.m. Malaysia time on our Facebook page. And then we're going to be talking more about speaking with confidence. And today is the first session of these Facebook Lives over the coming 4 weeks. And I'm going to be talking about how you can get your voice heard even if you are soft-spoken. So I wrote about this being soft-spoken to our email subscribers. If you missed that post, you can read it at myenglishmatters.com/blog. And it was a really popular email among our subscribers because many of our followers and subscribers, they are soft-spoken and they could relate with what I was sharing. So I shared 3 tips there on how you can get your voice heard if you're a soft-spoken person. But today I'm going to be sharing with you 7 tips of how you can be heard and how you can get your message across more effectively if you're soft-spoken. Okay, I'm going to say hi to some of you. Hello, Abu Noman, Muhammad Shaidan, Dayang Farida. Hi, Liz. Waalaikum salam. Wow, you're from KK, Kota Kinabalu. Hello, Hannah. Hello, Nurul Shazlin. We have another one this is from Kuching now. So we have people from East Malaysia. Is English my first language? I would say that English and Malay. I don't even know what my first language is because I grew up when I was 6 years old. Our family moved to England. So I spent all of my 6 years in primary school in England and then 2 years of high school there. And then I came back here and I've been in Malaysia ever since. So I'm fluent in both languages. And so if I speak to my siblings, I speak in English. If I speak to my children, I speak mostly Malay with a mix of English. So I don't know what my first language is, but when it comes to writing, I'm a better writer in English, but I can speak both languages. I know that many of you are bilingual or multilingual, so that's what is great about us. Hi, Abu, you're in Malaysia. All right, okay, so I'm going to get started here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk about 7 tips of how you can get your voice heard if you are soft-spoken. And then after that, I'm going to bring on Madam Azima because actually right now we are open for registration for our online workshop. It's called Present in English with Confidence. So Madam Azima is going to be teaching that this Saturday and Sunday for our students. So I'm going to bring her on after my session. So stay till the end. Okay, so 7 tips for getting your voice heard even if you're soft-spoken. The first tip that I want to share with you is to accept that you are a soft-spoken person, right? I know that for me, I've heard people tell me that I'm soft spoken. And at first I was like, no, I'm not. I shout all the time. I shout at my children. Okay, I shouldn't be shouting at my children, but I have to speak with a loud voice for them. So I don't consider myself a soft spoken person. Growing up, I was like a bit of a tomboy with my siblings and at school. So I never thought I was soft spoken until people told me. And I didn't like being called soft spoken. I didn't like being called quiet, shy. I don't consider myself shy, but as I grew older, I realized that okay, maybe I'm soft spoken. I don't speak as loud as a lot of people. I'm not as extroverted as a lot of people. So I've learned to accept that, and because we have grown up in a society where being extroverted, being loud, being gregarious and brash is like sort of glorified in our society these days, and being an introvert is not cool. So I always grew up thinking that being an introvert, being quiet, being soft-spoken was just not cool. But as I grow older, I've learned that I have to accept myself, that I am an introvert. I'm a person who likes to listen before I speak. So I don't talk as much as people do. I'm not as loud as people. So I've learned to accept that and to know that my strengths come from being the soft-spoken person that I am. So when I do speak, people tend to listen because I don't talk as much as other people. So then my first tip is to accept who you are. If you are an introvert, if you're quiet, if you are soft-spoken, accept that. And your strengths come from being a person who is introverted or quiet or soft-spoken. And a book that I would recommend you read if you are an introvert is Quiet by Susan Cain. That was a great book. So she talked about how our society has kind of glorified the extroverted people, and how the world, we need both introverts and extroverts. Okay, so that was a great book. So it's called Quiet. It's by Susan Cain. Susan Cain, Cain. Sorry. So if you want to read that book, I would recommend you get it at your nearest bookshop. Okay, so that's my first tip. My second tip is to use a louder voice. Okay, so being soft-spoken is not a bad thing, but sometimes we do have to speak loud, right? Especially if we are in a meeting where there's lots of people in the room and everybody's shouting and talking loudly. So we have to speak up, speak with a louder voice, because sometimes people can't hear you. I mean, it's hard enough to interrupt someone, but once you do interrupt someone and they can't hear you, that's really difficult, right? It can be like total, you feel like you've been rejected if nobody listens to you. So try to speak with a louder voice. And the tip how you can speak with a louder voice is by imagining that you are in a loud restaurant. Okay, so I'm using my louder voice now. I don't usually speak like this. I'm using my louder voice now because I'm doing this Facebook Live. So I know that I have to speak a bit louder. So what you can do is, this is a tip that I got from, I forgot his name, but I joined his online course about creating videos. So pretend that you are speaking in a loud restaurant where you have to speak to the person sitting across from you at the table. And the restaurant is really loud, so you have to get them to hear you. So you have to speak with a louder voice, right? But you don't have to be shouting. What you can do is practice speaking from your stomach, from your diaphragm. So the diaphragm is like below your ribs, that area. Try speaking from there rather than speaking from your throat voice. They call it the head voice. So I tend to use my head voice a lot. And when I know that I need to speak with a louder voice, I speak from my diaphragm. So try that at home. You can Google it up, like how to speak from your diaphragm or from your stomach, using your stomach voice. You can try Google how to speak with your stomach voice rather than your head voice. So I'm not a vocal coach, but somebody gave me these tips on how to speak with a loud voice, and I've been told that I speak with my head voice, so it's better for me to speak with my stomach voice. So the voice is coming from my stomach rather than from my throat. Okay, because we've been using our voice since we were children, right? And some of our practices, like speaking from your throat, might not be as good as from speaking from your stomach. Okay, let me say hi to some of you before I move on to the next tip. Hello, Joe. Joe is one of our students. Hello, Maya. Wow. Raza is watching English Matters. Great, Raza. All right. Thanks for your comments. Right. So I'm going to move on to the next tip now, which is number 3. I think I numbered my points wrong. So you may get more than 7 tips today because I numbered it wrongly in my notebook. So tip number 3 is to signal, to gesture when you need to speak. All right. So sometimes when you speak, right, when you are in a room with more than 2 people and you want to speak, your voice is so quiet, you're trying to speak, and it's hard for you to interrupt. So what you can use is you can use gestures with your hands or with your posture to show that you want to speak. Okay, so it's like before being verbally or vocally participative in that conversation, you physically enter that conversation with a gesture, like you raise your hand slightly, not like raising your hand in a classroom, but raising your hand slightly. Or you can, like, if somebody's saying something, you can like nod your head to show that you are physically participating in that conversation. So those are the tips that you can try. So nodding your head, raising your hand. I've seen people who, like those professors, they go like this, like they're thinking when they want to say something. So people are like, do you have something to say? Because they're like this. So try to do that. Do what feels natural to you. For me, I would probably raise my hand a little bit like this, or I would lean in. So you can lean in before you speak, right? If you feel you want to get people's attention to listen to you before you speak. Okay, so that's the 3rd tip. Let me see who else is here. La Karim, good morning. Good morning, Nas. Wait, let me see, Maya. Maya says she always speaks inside her car. That is a great practice, right? And what I noticed is that, hi Zafira, when you speak in your car, especially when you're driving, your voice tends to, what do you call it? It bounces off the dashboard and your voice becomes louder. So you can practice like singing and speaking in your car and your voice will sound great. All right. Another tip I want to share with you is to use interruption phrases. So what you can do is memorize some phrases that you can use. You can put these phrases in your back pocket. I don't mean that literally, but I mean that like figuratively. You memorize some phrases that you can use if you want to interrupt. So if you feel that, it's hard for you to interrupt people, you have some phrases that you can use every time you want to interrupt someone. So I want to share with you a few phrases that we have. So these are actually phrases that we have for our online course and subscription members. But I just want to share with you a few because there's like 130 or 170 phrases in here. But I'll just choose the ones that are relevant to this situation about speaking, even if you're soft-spoken. So it's like phrases for interrupting. So I'll just read a few here so that you can take down. So if you have a pen and paper with you, you can jot them down and then you can use them the next time you need to interrupt someone. So you can say, so these are called phrases for interrupting. You can use them when you need to interrupt someone when they're speaking. So you could say, before I forget, before you continue, or you can say, can I interrupt you for a second? Or you could say, can I just say something? Here's some more. Can I stop you there? And if you feel bad for interrupting, you can say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but, so maybe you want to interrupt your boss, right? You could say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you could say, may I interrupt? So be clear that you want to interrupt someone. So that's a few. There are a lot more for our students, but I'll just go through it with you. If you're not our student, I'll just went through that with you. So tell me if you liked any of these phrases and which phrase are you going to use to interrupt someone next time? Okay, let me see. Adibas one of our students as well. This is so me. I can't participate. Oh, Never mind. You can watch the replay, Adiba. All right. Hello, Anis. Okay. Waalaikumsalam, Siti Haja. So those are the phrases that you can use to interrupt people in a polite way, but in a way that using these phrases can actually, it acts kind of like a buffer to what you want to say, so that you don't feel so rude in interrupting people, right? And you feel a bit more confident to say what you wanted to say if you have these interrupting phrases that you can use. Okay, let me see. Next, we have number 5. The tip number 5 is to slow down and breathe. Okay, a lot of us, when we are speaking, when you are soft-spoken, speaking enough is hard, right? Trying to speak in a second language is even harder. So it's like 2 challenges in one. So, and especially if you are nervous, right? You tend to want to speak really fast. So slow down and breathe, right? That's so important for you to just take a deep breath, right? If you feel like I'm talking so fast, I'm so nervous, breathe, right? Take deep breath. Like, okay, I've got this. I am able to express myself without feeling nervous if you just slow down. So, and also when you slow down, it also gives you a bit more confidence that, people are still listening to you, even if you slow down. And you are able to emphasize certain phrases or certain words that you want to emphasize on to get your point across. That's what happens when you slow down. And also, we had this student where he would talk really fast, and people would like laugh at him because they thought that he was trying to be funny. So when he was talking so fast, he had all this energy, this pent up energy. He's talking so fast, and people were like laughing at him. They thought that he was trying to be funny, but actually he was quite upset that people were laughing at him. So we told him to slow down, to breathe. So that's what he did. And by the end of the workshop, when he presented in a slower pace, he felt that he was more confident. He was more in control of the audience, of the room. And he just felt more confident with himself by just slowing down and being able to emphasize certain words. And when you slow down, people can understand you better, right? And they can ask you questions if they don't understand something. Okay. All right. Siti Haja says she feels nervous if she slows down. Just try it, right, Siti Haja? Try it. If you feel that you're talking too fast, try slowing down. At first, you will feel nervous. You're like, you might go blank, and because people are looking at you. You might feel a bit nervous if you slow down, but then you can also slow down your train of thought and tell yourself that I'm going to be fine. I know what I have to say. I know that I have it inside of me, and I'm able to express myself in a confident way. So you have the time to tell yourself that if you slow down. All right. Let me see. That's the next question. Not the next question. The next tip is number 6. I have to number this again because I accidentally numbered it wrongly. Reading a book out loud and recording your voice. So this tip is actually what you can do when you're at home. So reading a book out loud. So this was actually a tip that I did myself because a few years back, when we started My English Matters, we wanted to record our voices to create videos for our online course students. So I needed to improve my voice and to improve how I read and speak with just a voice. Because people, when you are speaking, people can't see you. People, when you can just hear the audio, people can't see your expression, they can't see your hand gestures. So what I did was to practice for that. I read a book and I recorded myself. And I am a person who does not like her own voice. Well, I did not like it. And now I have accepted my voice, but I didn't like listening to myself. But I knew that it was something that I needed to do to become better. So I listened to myself. So I realized, okay, I need to improve my intonation. I need to speak slowly. I need to have some high and low pitches, some melody in my voice. I realized that when I speak towards the end of the sentence, my pitch goes down. And I thought, okay, I need to work on that because it sounds kind of monotonous. So I need to work on my pitching. So that helps to record your voice speaking or reading a book so that you can see where you can improve. And also, reading a book. Try reading a book to, if you have children, read a book to your children. I realize that when I'm reading to my children, it's important for me to engage, to keep them engaged, right? Because if I read a story and they find it boring, they'll probably run away and play with their toys. So I needed to do a lot of voices. I need to do a man's voice, a woman's voice, children's voice to keep it engaging for them. And that was like a vocal exercise for me. So reading to your children, if you don't have children, maybe you have nephews or nieces, try reading to them out loud so that you can practice using your voice and keep them entertained. Okay, let me see some of the comments here. I usually freeze up when I need to communicate with those who speak good English. I think that's normal. I think it's because you become self-conscious about yourself. So it's okay if you freeze up. Just know that, give yourself some time to get used to that person. Maybe that person, you don't know that person. Give yourself some time. Just say one or two sentences, it's fine. But after a while, you will get used to it. Just believe in yourself that you'll be okay. So the freezing up is just like, it's like the beginning of that interaction. But after a while, you warm yourself up to them. So just take that first step to unfreeze yourself. Okay, so that was tip number 6. What's that tip number 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry. Memorized my accidentally came online. Okay, so tip number 7 is to connect with your audience or to the person that you're speaking to. So like Jo said just now, she said that she freezes up when she is speaking with somebody who has good English. You have to connect with that person, whether it's just one person or whether it's with 10 people in an audience. Look at them, try to look at them in the eye, try to keep eye contact. You don't have to look at them, stare down at them like a scary zombie. Actually, I don't know whether zombies have eye contact, but look at them and connect with them. Make it like you're having a conversation with them. I think that helps because sometimes when you don't connect with them, you are just focused on yourself and you're just focused on your nervousness. So you're looking down, maybe you're looking down at your phone when you're talking, you're looking down at your notebook and you're just focused on yourself. So that is hard. So when you are focused on that person that you're speaking to or to the audience, you will tend to want them. You will want them to understand what you're saying. And you will go to extra lengths to make sure that they understand what you're saying. You ask questions, you're engaging with them. You are having a conversation. So it's not just like a one-way conversation. Okay. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the camera because I am imagining that the camera is you guys who are watching me. So, and also when I'm reading your comments, I don't feel like it's just me talking to myself. I feel like I'm having a conversation with you. So that really helps to connect with your audience, to engage with them, look at them in the eye. If you were in a meeting and you have 2 or 3 other people, try to focus on one person, but don't just look at that one person all the time. Look at the others, but focus on that one person that you want to persuade. Okay? So I hope that's helpful for you. That was tip number 7. I told you I have 7 tips, right? But actually I have more because I numbered my points wrongly. All right. So anyway, number 8. Okay, so this is a bonus tip. Let's just call it a bonus tip. Acknowledge the ongoing conversation. So if you were with a group of people and then they are talking, right? And then you feel a bit left out. Oh, sorry. My microphone just fell. And you're feeling a bit left out in the conversation and you want to speak up, you want to say something. What you can do is you can acknowledge the conversation. So what I mean by acknowledging the conversation is by, you call it chiming in. So let me see. This is actually one of some of the phrases that we shared with our communicate with confidence students. So it's in module 4. It's called Speaking to Connect with People. And I'm just going to go through a bit of the expressions that we share here. So it's about you can use phrases to agree with something or to disagree with something. So if they're speaking and you want to say something, use these phrases. Keep them in your back pocket again. Write them down so that you can practice them. Practice them at home. You could say, this is if you agree with someone. You could say, I agree with you, or yeah, you're right. Or you could say, of course, right? Or you could disagree. You could say, I'm afraid I disagree. So remember to use the hand gestures as well. Or you could say, not necessarily, and then you explain why. So it's like you are acknowledging the conversation and you are adding onto it. So it doesn't seem strange that you suddenly interrupt the conversation, right? So use these phrases to help you. Right? And then another bonus tip is to move towards the middle of the group. So if you are in a group of people and you're standing, you can physically move towards the middle of the group of people talking so that people can see you, so that people are paying attention to you. And last bonus tip, using hand gestures. I'm holding on to my mic here so that it doesn't fall. Using hand gestures. Similar to what I said about signaling that you want to interrupt, signaling that you have to say something. When you're speaking, using hand gestures really do help you feel more confident. It will help to emphasize the points that you want to say. And it also helps you feel like, okay, I feel like, I have the energy to speak when your hands are moving at the same time. But just don't go overboard with it. There's this like unwritten rule that you shouldn't like go above your head. You can if you want once in a while to create an effect, but try not to go too much. You might overwhelm people. So just use your hands a bit like this. Try not to like fold your arms. When folding your arms is showing people that you're not interested. So when you're speaking, use your hand gestures, right? So those were my tips. So that was a total of 7 plus 2 bonus tips, right? Am I right? I hope that was helpful. So let me know if you have any questions. If you are a soft-spoken person, which tip has been most helpful for you? Do you use any of these tips that I've shared? And which tip will you be applying later on? Let me see. Nor Farhana, hello, glad to see you too. So let's see. Mohammed Shukri says, I just want to share. I focus on grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation to improve my English. When I was in secondary school, I use simple phrases and sentences. It works and I feel more confident. Yes, that's true. I personally never really learned grammar back in school, but I learned grammar through a lot of reading. So it came naturally to me. But I understand that many of us Malaysians were taught grammar at school. And I think when being confident is about being competent. So when you learn, you feel like, oh, okay, now I know. Or you feel that you have the competency, that makes you more confident. Having the knowledge, that makes you more confident. So that's great. Thanks for sharing. All right. So that's all for me for today. And I just want to share with you that if you have any questions, you can write them here before I bring on Madam Azima. Because right now we are open for registration for our online workshop called Present in English with Confidence. It's on this Saturday and Sunday, which is 26 and 27 September. It's from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So if you join us, we will send you an email that you can join, so you can join the Facebook group for this particular workshop. And registration will close on Thursday. But I just want to let you know that today we have an early bird bonus. So if you join us by today, you get that early bird bonus, which is called 10 tips for preparing presentation slides. So these are tips that we will compile. Me, Madam Azma, and Aisha, we will compile our tips for preparing presentation slides to make it as a bonus for you guys if you register by today. So I'm going to pass the mic to Madam Azima. She's coming on. Hello. How
Hi there. Assalamualaikum. Hi. Wow, you're great just now. That was fantastic. All right. So, hi, everybody. This is Azima, and I want to invite you all to our weekend workshop. It's called Present in English with Confidence. It's on the 26th and 27th of September. It'll be 2 hours per day. So a total of 4 hours. It's going to be in a private Facebook group. So it's going to be like this, but you're going to be put in a private Facebook group with all your friends there, all our students there, and that's where we can interact and you can ask questions and all. So I'm going to give you the skills to get you equipped to present in English with confidence, whether it's for meetings, it's for a formal presentation, even for an academic presentation, for speaking online, like what I'm doing now, speaking on Facebook, speaking on Zoom, and it's going to be wonderful. So I'm going to go through with you what are the things that I'll be teaching. So on the first day, I'll be teaching how to feel confident. So we'll talk about 5 techniques to keep you feeling confident throughout, and how to organize and elaborate. I know that a lot of us are introverts or very shy, we're not confident with our English, that we end up, we're supposed to speak for 10 minutes, but we ended up only speaking for 2 minutes because you just don't know how to elaborate and you panic and you'd rather speak, you'd rather take as little time as you can. So we'll talk about that, how to organize and elaborate your points successfully using several speaking frameworks. I'll also give you phrases to use for smoothest presentation. So how to transition from point A to point B smoothly, how to conclude smoothly. So these are the phrases that you would need, and it will help you to sound more smooth and more professional. That'll be on the first day. And then, of course, we will take questions, right? Questions and answers and all of that during the first day. The second day, we'll talk about how to engage the audience with interesting content and delivery. So we'll also talk about body language, which I'm not talked about today, like using your gestures. We'll talk about voice. This was not, I think it wasn't included with the last time I did this. So this is additional. We're going to talk about voice, like how to keep your audience engaged, especially if it's a Zoom presentation when all they see is you and you can't physically be there with them, so you have to engage them with your voice so that people don't fall asleep, basically. And then how to handle a difficult audience. We'll talk about that, the psychology of audience, like, oh no, you have a difficult boss, you have your colleagues who's very critical, you have grammar police there. And then how to handle Q&A session as well. You will get difficult questions. How are you going to handle it and still sound confident and knowledgeable? And then we'll end it with how to rehearse and practice effectively. This is important because some of us think that, you've done all your points, you've done all your research, but somehow you still go blank. I think the reason is because you have not rehearsed and practiced effectively. You don't know how to do it. What's the right strategy for handling your rehearsal process? Okay, so it's very, very important. We'll also give you some advanced tips. I'm going to keep it a secret as well. This is for advanced speakers. You want to get to the next level. This is something I've just learned actually from a course that I attended. And I asked the permission of scienceofpeople.com to use some of the techniques. And they said yes, as long as I tell them where I got it from. And I can't wait to share with you. So I will also give you recommended talks and resources, including some of our personal favorite TED Talks and speakers. So you can also take a look at what we recommend in terms of, to help you sound more confident, to help you feel inspired when you speak. So I want you to be excited for this weekend workshop. It's for you, even if you struggle with English, as long as you understand what Madam Amna and I have, we've been talking for a while now. So as long as you understand us, and even if you're not fluent, this course will help you get started on your journey to speak and present confidently, okay? But if you are already very fluent, maybe you want to join us to get some more advanced tips, or maybe you have always been fluent, but not necessarily on Zoom. Maybe you don't know how to connect with the camera. Maybe you feel like, okay, I need to get to the next level. I need to be able to do Facebook Lives and things like that, maybe. All right. So we invite everybody to join us. Again, we're open now for registration. And so registration, we have early bird bonus for you guys. It's called 10 Tips for Preparing Presentation Slides. The bonus ends today, midnight. Am I correct, Amna? I think so, yeah. And midnight. So go to myenglishmatters.com/PEWC. It means PEWC stands for Present in English with Confidence. So again, myenglishmatters.com/PEWC for all the details. All right. So, oh yeah, another thing as well. This is the good thing about having it online in a Facebook group is that you have access to it, inshallah, lifetime access to that. So that's the good thing versus going to a physical workshop where it's just maybe a 2-day training and then you can't watch it again, can you? You can't relive the experience. But with an online workshop, you get to relive the experience. And even if you are not able to attend live for that particular day, you can just watch the replay and then learn from there. Okay. And oh yeah, another thing I forgot to mention, you also get the workbook. The workbook contains everything that we'll be teaching for the entire 2 days. All right. Okay. All right. So Amna, over to you, or maybe we have questions. Oh, we have Siti Haja. Hi. So happy to see you. All right. Okay. So anything else that you want to add, Amna? Oh, how do you want to join? Okay. Again, let me repeat, myenglishmatters.com/PEWC. And if you are members, a student, and CWC students, you know that you've got a special price for that. But if you're not, check out the website for the details and the price there. Okay? Okay. That's it for me. Wow, that was fast. Okay, you have any questions, guys? Okay.
You want to talk some more? Hopefully one day I can join as Friday says.
Maybe there are
hopefully
questions. Okay.
Yeah, if you have any questions. Mazwin, I hope you can join us. I think I saw that you already joined, but you said that you might not be able to join live, right? So if you're not able to join live, you will still get the replay and the workbook worksheets. So that will be the workbook is a PDF that we send to you through email that you can download, and you can also watch the video in your own time.
Okay.
So Ashida says she's working on Sunday. Okay, it's fine. You can still watch the replay if you join. So I think that's all from me for today. And from Madam Azima, do you have any final words before you want to sign off?
Okay, I can't wait because this topic, presentation skills, is actually my favorite. It's my most favorite subject, actually. When I taught this when I was in university. I've attended so many courses since then. It's like I love this subject so much. I will keep on updating my knowledge, and I'll get so excited to share the latest findings or the latest trainings that I've attended, and I'll put my love into a workshop like this. So I really, really hope to see you guys there in our Facebook group for Present in English with Confidence. It's happening this weekend. So register today to get the bonus. Tuesday, today is the 22nd of September. The bonus ends midnight tonight. So grab the bonus. If not, it's okay. If you miss that bonus, it's all right. The registration closes on Thursday. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So
I just wanted to say that when I was in high school, I joined this public speaking competition, and Madam Azima, she's my sister. If you don't know yet, she's my sister. She also helped me train for that public speaking contest, and I actually won first place among my. I think it was in KL. It was with other schools, so we competed with other schools, and I won that competition amazingly. So I still remember the tips that she shared with me during that time, like using melody with my voice, the pitching, how to not sound boring, using my stomach voice. So I told you guys that there's a person who said that I always use my head voice. So that's actually Madam Azma. So secret. Okay, so I think that's all from us, because at 11 I have to cook. I'm always cooking at 11, so I'll be back. So we do hope that you'll join us. in the workshop this weekend. So
All right.
if you have any questions, you can just email us at info@myenglishmasters.com. We tend to our emails every day. And if you join by today, remember you get that early bird bonus called 10 tips for presenting for 10 tips for preparing presentation slides. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And assalamu alaikum. It's nice seeing you all here.
Bye.
Bye.